Alright, my faithful subscribers, just a short one for now. The other video, the next part, I think it's part 30, will be a little bit delayed. I've had a few problems and issues and dramas that have stopped me from completing it, like this video, next video anyway. But I thought I'd drop one just to explain or to work out what's coming after the shredder. People might be curious, and I know a lot of people are watching this because they have a they're interested in Bigstack's videos and what he does. But if you haven't seen my channel, I used to make man cave furniture, and I had a bit of a break because I did go for a little while and made quite a few. And by that I mean making coffee tables out of V8s, you know, glass top with the pistons for legs and things like that. I'll go and take a little bit of footage out here to show you what I've got to work with. Also, I've got some stuff here. I wanted first up, once I've finished the shredder and delivered it, and I will be doing a series of videos. I know I did a series taking the crusher over, but I'll probably do another one with the shredder, the drive over, since it's going to be a bit more challenging this time. But when I get home, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to machine one of these. Alright, I thought I just recorded this, but I didn't. I'm just going to take a little break from, rather than just trying to put a couple of pictures up or put a whole heap on there that it's going to be hard to explain. I did put text on a lot of them to explain what they are, but I'm going to just record it here on the camera now, so I can separate the sound and use it as voiceover for some of the images, so you've got an idea of what it is I'm showing, what I'm talking about. I thought that'd be much easier. I could record the voiceover on my laptop, but it's just a pain in the bum inside. The TV's going, kids are in the house, dog barking his arsehole out, so I'll come out the garage and do it, and it's easy enough just to separate it. So here we go. This is the very first coffee table I ever made. It's made from an Audi 4-litre V8. Just a shame it didn't have the heads with it, because I would have loved the chains to go up to the cams on the head. But this was the very first one I made. The pistons on it that hold the glass up are out of a 308 Holden. So there we go. This one here is one of the first ones that I made. Well, the first one I made that I actually sold to someone on Marketplace. This is a 350 Chev. And utilised the pistons to hold it. It came out of a racing boat, apparently, a supercharged race boat. This was given to me by some guy on one of the groups I was in. And if you look at the table is the flywheel and the crankshaft out of that engine. And I bought a hub for a Holden stud pattern and the wheel, and then mounted that on top of it. And the guy that brought the table, brought the coffee table, the side table as well as the coffee table, so he got a pretty good bargain with both those. This is a Ford V8 table I made. I saw it online. It was nearby, and there was two engines for, I think it was $1,500 for two flathead V8s, and so I went and bought them, and I made one into a coffee table. This one was a huge project because the engine was rusted and seized, so I had a hell of a time pulling it apart. But I made this coffee table. There's an awful lot of work in that. A lot. All those head bolts, as I put in one of these pictures, is I just got a couple of pieces of 19mm hex bronze, and I machined every single one of those individually, and did the radius on top with a piece of high-speed steel. Except the pistons on them. The pistons are made out of the Leyland P76 pistons, because they're dished. They're much easier to machine into ashtrays. They're only for looks. The guy that bought this off me is actually a good friend of mine. I sold it to him for $1,800, which was a bargain, because I was selling it for $2.5 grand. But because he was a friend, I sold it to him for $1,800, and he loves it. He doesn't smoke. The ashtray's there just for looks. So that was a very, very fulfilling job, that one. It took a bit to do. This is the naked V8. I saw one online on Facebook somewhere, and I thought, I wonder if I can make one of those. So I dragged one of the Leyland V8s in and stripped it and machined it to pieces. The block I ended up using for a table, but the heads I machined way down, way down, and the exhaust ports I painted red, the inlet ports I painted green, and the water jackets I painted blue. And I did a cutout view of the oil filter, the oil pump, the fuel pump, and the distributor. So it looks like a naked V8. And as I said in one of those pictures, the base I made out of a cam. I'm not sure what the cam was of. I think it might have been another Chevy cam or a Holden one. Yeah, and some leaf springs. These clocks I made with Holden pistons and rods, and the clock mechanisms I just got off eBay. And to mount them, I bought some, I think it was 75mm aluminium round bar, and machined it, and then machined the recess to put the clocks into them. So they were a handy little job. This is the table that I made for the client. He didn't want pistons on it, like to hold the glass up. He preferred the bare bones with just the rods, and I just put legs on it. He didn't want rods for legs or pistons. So that one did come out quite good. Then that's another Leyland P76 engine block. And of course the two ashtrays on top, again, which is ornamental. He doesn't smoke, but he wanted a couple of ashtrays for it. This one is the block out of the naked V8. And I made a sideways table and put backlighting in it. It's battery operated, LED lights, just to see. And the guy that I make another one for without the pistons, his friend bought it off me, and he uses it as a wine rack, put his bottles in. So that one didn't come out too bad. This is one with the clock, similar to what I made with the others. I just did the same thing with this. This one is olive green because it was one of his friends. He wanted it green instead of red, so I don't know. But that's what he got. I made a series of these. They're table lamps for a client who I made quite a few things for, and his friends. They saw what he bought and they wanted some. So I think this was the original one, the one he bought. And again, it's a Holden piston and rod. A rear brake disc off something I can't remember, and Edelbrock air filter. I've got one here somewhere with it turned on. Well, one of them turned on anyway. Table I made using the disc rotor on the bottom of it. The base is actually off my car. It had to have new brake rotors because it's got Brembo brakes, as it's a red line. So I used the old ones and machined them down and made them look pretty and painted them. And the crank, I'm not sure, I can't remember what the crank's out of. The piston on top is a Holden. So it sits, the glass sits on the piston, and they come up really nice. This is the little crane that I made. I did do a couple of videos on it, and I actually built that specifically to work on Bigstack's shredder because it is so heavy. Everything's heavy. And that'll lift 500 kilos. And of course you can't go past the Bigstack's can crusher. That was my first trip over to the west to deliver that, and inside about 3 weeks I'll be going back again to take the shredder over. And of course the little anvil that I made, I did that as a break in between doing some stuff just to get the head refreshed. It's very interesting to machine because it's pretty hard stuff. That still, it's very high in manganese, and it's hard to machine. You've got to be really careful. Okay, this mess is out the back of the garage and out the back of the bike shed where I parked the Harley. There's motors there. There's 2 complete motors. I did have 5 of them, and I've used 3, and I've got 2 bare blocks there, and I've still got some heads. I think I've got about four heads there, as well as all the other stuff that I've got, the disc rotors that I use for lamps and things like that, and yeah. So that's where I'm going to be sourcing the motor from for the next coffee table that I'm going to be making once I get back from the deep west. So there you go. It's a little bit longer than what I thought it might have been, but that's okay. It explains everything better. So anyway, from me and him, let's get back to it. I just want to do one anvil and one coffee table, and then I might get back into something a bit more serious. But leave your thoughts below. Leave a comment and tell me what you would like to see me build, and keep it within reason and within budget, or unless somebody wants me to build them something and do like I've done for Bigstack. He's paid for not all of the parts, but most of them, all the expensive stuff. I've paid for a lot of the bolts and bits and pieces that I've got for it. That's a couple of dollars here, $5 there. It's nothing. So leave a comment and let me know what you think I should build. My next complex one. The coffee tables are pretty easy. They're a piece of piss to make. The biggest hold up on those things is the bloody glass, waiting for the glass to come in, because you've got to order tempered glass for it. So yeah, let me know what you think I should build. I do have an idea which I want to discuss with Bigstack, but that probably won't be started until well late in the year. So if it comes to fruition, but I'm not going to say what it is. So yeah, so I thought I'd just do this video just so I'll get a weekly upload. People probably saying, where the hell's his video? And I have had a lot of new subscribers in the last week, and I thank you all very, very much. But the new ones and the old ones and the faithful ones that watch every video, that always come along, leave a nice comment and like the videos and whatnot. It really is appreciated, and it just gives me a little bit of something to occupy myself and to keep things going. It's I'm not destined to ever make a fortune out of YouTube, although I'm supposed to get my first YouTube payment on the 26th of this month, $136. So we won't be partying too much on that, but and I think next month is going to be not a whole lot different, but it all depends. It varies on on the views, the duration of the views, how many ads they get to play, supers, stuff like that, But as I said, I won't get on here like others do, well, like and subscribe, leave a comment, it helps the channel. Of course it helps the channel, but I'm not going to beg for it. If you have to beg for people to like and subscribe or comment, then it's not worth it. So do as you please. If you want to leave a comment, then that's great. Like I said, I'll always acknowledge the comments and answer what I can. So yeah, I'm going to take some photos now of the different stuff that I was going to do, and I'll dig out some photos of the stuff that I've made previously. I think that now, if I videoed the process, it's going to look a lot better. I like to think my video and editing skills are improving slowly, very slowly, but just the different angles and the different operations and stuff. So I am usually trying to better stuff like that to a degree. I can't really go all out because I just don't have the time or the space to do it. So anyway, I'm starting to talk too much. So thank you all, much appreciated, and until next time, as always, stay safe. Peace.